Hallo Klickenabendler, wir sind in Essen auf der Spiel 2022 bei Gamebrewer und wir haben ja ein drittes Spiel, was man aktuell nicht kaufen kann, aber demnächst, uns wurde gerade gesagt, in 10 Tagen bei Kickstarter wird es ein Projekt geben und da kann man dort mitplätschen. Und das Spiel heißt Delta, so it's a game from France. Couderic.
Yes, exactly, France Couderic. So it's a very French game. The author is French and the illustrator is French. And it's set in France, actually. But we're in a very parallel universe because this is a steampunk-themed game. However, as you can see, instead of being in a very urban environment, we're very much out in nature. So the delta of the Rhone Valley comes out in a region called the Camargue, and it's based on that. And so in this game, everything is centered around us having machines that are powered by crystals, but the crystals are starting to fail on us. They start to break, they become unreliable. So we are assembling a team of explorers and scientists to kind of go and explore the different animals that live in this region, because they have mechanical elements as well, and they're also powered by those crystals. But for them, everything is fine. So we're trying to figure out what is going on. So we embark on this big adventure, and every player is going to have a set of cards at the beginning that they're going to, so you have a number of characters in the game, and you're going to place these cards in one of the three parts of the board. So there's a big central map, as you can see, where you're going to be exploring the delta, but there's also a part which is like the mechanical engineering section, and where multiple things are going to happen, and then you also have a scientific part. So from left to right, just to explain, every time it's your turn, you choose in which of the three regions you place one of your characters. And these characters are placed, and you immediately get some resources. The one that's a bit unique is the coin, because the coin changes depending on where you place it. So in this region, I need more cogs, it's going to give you cogs. So it's going to adapt itself, which is the more interesting one. So here a few things happen. You have an engineering track which will allow you to actually get the invention tiles eventually, and those will give you advantages immediate or at the end of the game. But also it's going to influence the player order. The player order is not simply whoever is farthest ahead gets it, but they are first to choose when they want to play. You can go first, but then you won't get any advantage. And then as you move along, you're going to get these bonus tiles. And the further you go, the more interesting the advantage is. But obviously, this will influence your player order. So that is one of the first things that happen at the beginning of the game and where you can invest in during the game. Then moving on, we have the map section of the board. So this is really the big chunk of the game. And so we start in Boduca, which is kind of the starting city of the game. And then from there, we're going to, place our markers and start exploring further and further into the region. So you'll see also that there's less and less, city elements as you progress. And there you're going to need the crystals, because we have certain machines that we need to power up to go into the delta. And the further you go, the more crystals you need. But you're also going to score more victory points and more advantages throughout the game. Because there's also missions in the game that really rely heavily on where you are in this part of the board. And so the final section is the library. So this is more like the scientific part of the game. So once you collect data and you've observed all these animals, you're going to get more and more knowledge about these creatures, and this is going to be pointed by those square markers that you see. So the further you go, the more points you're going to get for your knowledge about specific types of animals. And so those are animals typical of the region, like flamingos and horses and bulls. So those are very typical for that region. And so as you progress, again, it's something that only will be valuable at the end of the game, but can score you a lot of points. So if you play your cards right and invest well, you're gonna, score there. And the lower part here, so you can, after a while, you can publish actually scientific papers about your findings, and that will result in victory points at the end of the game. So those kind of point you towards a certain thing, because it's certain elements that will give you a number of points. So as the game progresses, you're clearly going to be like, okay, I've heavily invested, for instance, in certain, like the dragonfly tile, so I want, something that's going to give me points for that. Or I particularly explore like the left part of the map. I want to really focus on this. So once players have placed a card in each region, players are going to get cards, and based on the number of stars that are on each card, whoever has the most stars has initiative, and they're going to choose first between, in this case, a set of characters. So new team members are going to join your deck of cards, and then that's going to go for every region of the board. So The first section will give you new characters. The second one will give you animal cards, and so those animal cards will allow you, again, to score points at the end of the game and or give you advantages. That's a choice that you have to make because you can use them for both. And then the final section here in the scientific section, those are the mission cards as well. Mission cards in the beginning are going to give you goals, and later on are just going to give you resources. So that's kind of in a nutshell how it works.
And it's a game for 1 to 4?
It's 2 to 4 actually.
2 to 4,
yeah, it's a 2 to 4 player game. Plays in about an hour and a half, something like that. And we'll launch on Kickstarter, so October 17th, in a deluxe version.
In a deluxe version?
Yes, there will be a deluxe version.
So
of
with
this.
metal, or what do you mean?
There will be a lot of wood, a lot more wood than in it, and we'll have prints, and we'll have a lot of other surprises, but you'll have to find out, on October 17th for that.
All right, so thanks for the preview.
Of course, no, thank you very much.